Good morning, children. So, we are starting with a new chapter, and this is the chapter from your book by D.K. Goyal, Volume 2, Cash Flow Statement, and this is the part 1. Now, let us understand what is cash flow statement all about. Now, you should know that cash flow statement is governed under the accounting standard 3, that is AS 3. Now, the meaning. A cash flow statement is a statement showing inflows, that is the receipts, and outflows, that is the payments of cash during a particular period of time. That means it is a statement which shows from where the cash is coming in the business and from where the cash is going out from the business during a particular period of time. Second point, it is a summary of sources and applications of cash during a particular span of time. That means from where the cash is coming in and where the receipts or the cash is applied during a particular span of time. The third point, the term cash here stands for cash and cash equivalents, not only the liquid cash but also cash equivalents. A cash flow statement includes only those items which affect cash. That means it will not record any kind of non-cash transactions. Now, importance or uses of cash flow statement. This can also be written as advantages. So, cash flow statement is very much useful for short-term financial planning. You can decide that since we are getting this much amount of cash, so what can be the financial planning in the short run? Then second usefulness is it is useful in preparing the cash budget. How much cash we are receiving and where we can apply the cash. Then third point, it is useful in comparison with the cash budget. That means whatever budget we had prepared regarding the cash, then we can tally, we can compare with the prepared budget whether we are actually receiving the certain amount of cash or not, and whether we are executing it or we are spending it accordingly or not. Then the fourth point, cash flow statement helps in the study of trend of cash receipt and payment. It basically helps in judging, in analyzing the trend from where the cash is coming in and where the cash is going out and in what amount. What is the trend basically? Then the fifth point, it is useful to the outsiders, all those outsiders who are interested in our business, in our cash position. It helps to them in providing the information. Then the sixth point, it is helpful in ascertaining cash flow from various activities separately. Later on you will study that there are 3 kinds of activities in cash flow statement in any business. So it is helpful in knowing that how much cash is coming from which activity separately. So these are the importance or uses of cash flow statement. Now the limitations or disadvantages of cash flow statement. Number 1, possibility of window dressing. Window dressing means that when we are manipulating the things and showing the figures in an appealing manner, we are not showing the fair value. So basically what can happen in cash flow statement, since the business knows that people will be interested in knowing the financial position or the cash position basically, so the accountant or the business or the company, what it can do is it can make the false image and it can do window dressing. Second disadvantage is it ignores non-cash transactions. Since we have already studied that cash flow statement only and only records the inflow and outflow of cash and it ignores all the non-cash item. So basically this is the disadvantage. Third point, it ignores the accrual concept of accounting. In class 11th you have studied accrual concept of accounting, which states that we should record all cash and credit transaction but only of the current year. So it ignores this concept. That means it doesn't record the credit aspect, it just records the cash transactions. Then fourth point, no substitute for an income statement. Basically statement of PL account or statement of profit and loss is also known as income statement. So it is no substitute, it cannot be substituted in place of profit and loss statement, because statement of profit and loss records both cash and credit, but it records only and only cash transactions, so it cannot be perfectly substituted. Then fifth point, historical in nature. Cash flow statement records the inflows and outflows after it occurs after a certain period of time, as on a particular date. So basically it is a historical record. And the last one is not suitable for judging the liquidity, because it is not taking into account the liquid assets or the basically which is very much convertible into cash. It is only taking the cash aspect. So these are the limitations of cash flow statement. Then difference between cash flow statement and cash budget. Sometimes students they get confused between these two terms, but there is a difference. Now the time period. Cash flow statement is prepared for a past period, because when the inflows and outflows are already done, then it is prepared. But cash budget is prepared for a future period. Basically it is a forecast. Then second basis of distinction is suitability for decision making. Cash flow statement is not suitable for decision making for future by the management, because it is a past record. So decisions cannot be made, the future decisions cannot be taken on this basis. But cash budget is suitable for taking future oriented decisions by management. Why? Because the reason is it is prepared in advance in forecasting the future. So this is the difference between cash flow statement and cash budget. Then difference between or distinction between cash flow statement and income statement, that is statement of profit and loss. So the first basis of difference is the nature. Cash flow statement records sources and utilization of cash only, but income statement records revenue and expenses, whether they are in cash or not, but they should be related to the current period. Objective. The objective of cash flow statement is to provide information about cash flows from operating, investing and financing activities for a given period. These are the three types of activities which will be discussed in detail. So the objective of cash flow statement is to ascertain various cash inflows and outflows from these various activities. But the objective of income statement is to ascertain the net profit or net loss for a given period of time. Then the third basis of difference is information needed for preparation. So in order to prepare the cash flow statement, two consecutive balance sheet and additional information are required. But for the preparation of statement of PL, the balances of nominal accounts and additional information are required. Balance sheet is not required for income statement. Then scope. Cash flow statement shows only the movement of cash, that is cash inflows and cash outflows, and hence its scope is limited. But income statement shows the result of all business transactions for a period, where irrespective whether it is in cash or not, hence it is wider in scope. So these are the differences between cash flow statement and income statement. Now the procedure for preparing cash flow statement. The Institute of Chartered Accountants of India has issued Accounting Standard 3 revised for preparing a cash flow statement. As we have already discussed, that cash flow statement is governed by or under the Accounting Standard 3. The following terms are used for preparing a cash flow statement. So what are the terms mainly used in cash flow statement? As we have already discussed, that cash flow statements record not only cash but also cash equivalents. So there are two terms, cash and cash equivalents. So let us understand the meaning of both. Cash, it comprises cash in hand and demand deposits with banks, that is deposits which are payable by banks on demand. Fixed deposit will not be a part of this. So cash means here cash in hand, cash at bank. And cash equivalent means these are short-term, highly liquid investments that are readily convertible into known amount of cash and which present insignificant risk of changes in their values. So basically all those short-term investments which are very highly liquid, it can very easily, very soon be converted into cash, and there is hardly any change in the value, that is known as cash equivalent. As we can read further, normally an investment will be termed as cash equivalent only if it has a short maturity period for 3 months or less from the date of its acquisition. That means all those short-term investment which matures within 3 months or less, not more than that, that will be considered as cash equivalent. Few examples of cash equivalents are treasury bills, commercial papers, etc. So this is the meaning of cash and cash equivalent in relation to cash flow statement. Now, thus cash and cash equivalents include the following: cash in hand, cash at bank, short-term investment or marketable securities, checks and drafts on hand. Now, when does the flow of cash arise? So, cash flow arises when a transaction results in either increase or decrease in the amount of cash or cash equivalents. And as we have already discussed, cash and cash equivalents include cash in hand, demand deposits with bank, short-term investments and marketable securities. So, when does the cash flow arise? Whenever there is an increase or decrease in the amount of cash and cash equivalents. Then ISC Council's instruction: bank overdraft and cash credit will be considered as financing activity, because both these are kind of liability loan, as they are short-term borrowings. Henceforth, they will not be considered as cash and cash equivalent. Second point, current investment will be considered as part of working capital changes unless specified as marketable securities for short-term investment. So current investment, here we know that current means those can be converted into cash within a period of 1 year. So in cash flow statement, if the question says current investment, so it will be considered as current asset only. It will not be considered as cash equivalent. It will be a part of working capital changes, which we will discuss in detail, and it will not be considered as cash equivalent unless and until it is specified as marketable securities for short-term investment in the question. Then classification of cash flows. According to Accounting Standard 3 Revised, a cash flow statement should be presented in a manner that reports inflows and outflows of cash by classifying them into 3 categories, namely. So there are 3 activities in cash flow statement which shows the inflows and outflows from their respective activities. So their 3 activities are operating activities, investing activities and financing activities. So when you prepare the cash flow statement, we will discuss the format. When you prepare the cash flow statement, the sequence is the same. First of all, you show the operating cash flow from operating activities. Secondly, you show the cash flow from investing activity, and then thirdly you show the cash flow from financing activity. The sequence is not to be changed. So it is very easy to remember the sequence, but still if you are having any problem, there is a trick behind. You can just learn the abbreviation OIF. O stands for operating, I stands for investing, and F stands for financing activities. Now let us discuss what are the cash flows from different activity. So the first one, cash flows from operating activities. Now, what is operating activity? Operating activities are the main revenue generating activities of an enterprise. Basically, those activities which is the principal business or the principal work of the business. For example, for a stationery shop, buying and selling of copies, registers, pens, pencils, etc. is a part of operating activities. As such, they include cash flows from those transactions and events which enter into ascertainment of net profit or loss of the enterprise. Examples of cash flows arising from operating activities are basically which are related to day-to-day also. Number 1, cash receipts from the sale of goods and rendering of services. So this is cash receipt. That means these are the amount received by the business. So it will be a cash inflow from the sale of good and rendering service. Then cash receipt or inflow from royalties, fees, commission and other revenue. Then cash receipt or inflow from debtors and bills receivable. So these are the 3 inflows of cash from operating activities. Cash inflow from sale of goods and services, from any kind of royalty received, fees received, commission received, and interest received, basically discount received, like this. Then amount received from debtors and bills receivable basically. And then the cash outflows or cash payment for purchase of goods and services, just the reverse. Then payment made to creditors and bills payable, payment of wages, salaries, and other payment to employees like bonus, etc. And then cash outflow or payment or refund of income taxes unless they can specifically be identified with financing or investing activity. Means unless and until it is especially mentioned in the question, refund of income tax will also be a part of operating activities. So these are the various cash inflows and outflows from operating activities. Now cash flows from investing activity. Now investing activity, what does it mean? It means or it includes the purchase and sale of long-term assets. Investing activities include the purchase and sale of long-term assets such as land, buildings, plant and machinery, etc., not held for resale. So that means investing activities, basically it involves the investments of the business. And when we say investment, we mean the purchase and sale of long-term or fixed assets which are purchased not for the purpose of reselling but for the purpose of using it in the production process. For example, land, building, furniture, plant, machinery, goodwill, patents, etc. These activities also include the purchase and sale of such investments which are not included in cash equivalents. For example, long-term investments, shares of another company if it is purchased, debentures of another company if it is purchased, so on. Cash flow from investing activities discloses the expenditures incurred for resources intended to generate future income and cash flows. So example of cash flows arising from investing activities: cash payment. Now the word payment means outflow of cash and cash receipt means cash inflow. So cash payment or outflow to acquire fixed asset including intangible. So if any fixed asset like land, building, machinery, furniture, even the intangible ones, goodwill, patents, copyright, trademark, if such assets are purchased, so whatever amount is paid against it, that will be considered as cash payment or cash outflow in investing activity. Then cash receipt from sale of fixed asset. So if those fixed assets which we had purchased earlier, including the intangibles, if these are sold, so amount realized from the sale of such fixed asset will be considered as cash inflow under investing activity. C point, cash payment to acquire shares, warrants, debt instruments of other enterprises other than payments for those instruments considered to be cash equivalent. So whatever shares, debentures, bonds, warrants a business is purchasing of another business or another company, and whatever amount it is paying in return, that will be considered as cash outflow in case of investing activity, because the business is paying money to invest into some other companies, shares, debentures, etc. Then D point, cash receipts from sale of shares, warrants or debt instruments of other enterprises other than receipt of those enterprise instrument considered to be cash equivalents. So it is saying that whatever amount is realized by selling such shares, warrants, debentures, etc. of other business, other company, basically the investment in other business, other company, whatever amount is received by selling it, that will be considered as cash receipt or cash inflow in case of investing activity, and rest is the investing activity. E point, cash advances and loans made to the third parties. So whatever loans or advances is given by a business to some third party, that is the loan given by the business to some third party, it will be treated as cash outflow because money is going, but under investing activity, because it is again kind of an investment, it will be the money will be received back by the organization. Then cash receipts from the repayment of advances and loans made to the third parties. So whatever loan the business has given to the third party, when the third party repays it to the business, it will be considered as cash inflow or cash receipt in case of investing activity. Then G point, cash receipt of insurance claim for property involved in an accident. So if any property which is insured meets with an accident, so whatever insurance claim is received from it will be considered as cash inflow in case of investment or basically investing activity. And the last one, cash receipt of interest and dividend. So whatever interest or dividend is received on the investment made, whether in bank, whether in shares and debentures of other company, or as loan given to the third parties, irrespective, if any interest and dividend is received by an organization, it will be cash inflow under investing activities. So these are the various cash inflows and outflows from investing activities. Now, cash flows from financing activity. Financing activities are the activities that result in change in capital and borrowings of the enterprise. So all those activities which result with changes the capital and borrowings of the enterprise are termed as financing activities. So examples of cash flows arising from financing activities are: number 1, cash receipt or cash inflow from issuing shares or other similar instrument. So if a business is issuing its own shares and debentures, bonds, warrants to the public or to anyone so as to raise the money, so the money raised out of such shares or debentures etc. issued will be considered as cash inflow under the financing activity. Then point B, cash receipt from short-term or long-term borrowings such as issuing debentures, bonds, loans, etc. So if any long-term or short-term loan is taken by an organization for its own finance, for using the money, then the money so received will be considered as cash inflow in case of financing activity. Then third one, cash payment for buyback of equity shares. If the company purchases back its own equity shares issued to the shareholders, the payment made in return of it will be considered as cash outflow under the financing activity. Then D point, cash repayments of short-term or long-term borrowings, including redemption of debentures, bonds, preference shares, loans, whether it is short-term or long-term. So that means any loan which is taken by an organization for its own purpose, when it is repaid, the money is going out, so that will be treated as cash outflow under financing activity. When the loan is taken, it is cash inflow under financing activity. When the loan is repaid, it is a cash outflow under financing activity. E point, cash payment of interim dividend, that is dividend declared during the year, previous year's proposed dividends both on preference and equity shares. So whatever dividend is paid by an organization, by a company on its shares and equity shares or preference shares, it will be considered as a cash outflow under financing activity. Then F point, cash payment for interest on long-term borrowings such as debentures and interest on short-term borrowings such as bank overdraft and cash credit. So any interest which is paid on short-term borrowings, short-term loans taken by a company, whether it is interest paid on bank overdraft or cash credit, or it is interest paid on long-term borrowings such as interest on debentures etc., will be a cash outflow under financing activity. Then the G point, any change in bank overdraft or cash credit. If there is an increase or decrease, it will be recorded in case of financing activity. If it is an increase, that means it is showing the inflow of cash. If it is a decrease, it is showing an outflow of cash. Then payment of preliminary expenses including share issue expenses. So preliminary expenses, you must have studied in commerce that preliminary expenses are those expenses basically which are incurred in setting up a business, and share issue expenses are the expenses which are issued basically incurred in issuing the shares. So all those expenses related to setting up of a company or issuing the shares or issuing the debentures, bonds etc. of a company for raising money will be considered as cash outflow under financing activity. So these are the cash inflows and outflows from financing activities. Some special items. AS3, that is Accounting Standard 3 Revised, has provided for the treatment of some special items as below. Number 1, interest and dividends. Cash inflow from interest and dividend and cash outflow on account of interest and dividend should be disclosed separately. If we are receiving interest and dividend, then it is a part of investing activity, because we will receive interest and dividend if and only if we have invested in some some other company's shares or debentures. So it will be showed in the investing activity. But if we are paying interest and dividend, that means we will be paying it to those who have invested in our company. That means we have taken the loan or we have issued the shares. So any interest or dividend paid will be shown as a cash outflow in case of financing activity. So as we can read, cash inflow arising from interest and dividends received should be shown as cash flow from investing activities, whereas cash outflow on account of dividend paid on shares and interest paid on long-term borrowing should be shown as cash flow from financing activity. Then second special item, taxes on income. Tax paid on income or income tax is a part of cash flow from operating activities because it is related to your normal day-to-day business, your normal business activity. Hence, taxes paid are shown as a deduction under cash flow from operating activities. When we will study the calculation of cash flow from different activities in detail, we will learn that income tax paid is actually at the end of operating activities, it is deducted. Now this is the assignment which you have to do in your register. I hope the topics discussed, the introductory topics of cash flow statement discussed in this video is clear to you. You are required to answer the following questions in your register. Question number 1. What do you understand by a cash flow statement? A cash flow statement is a summary which shows the cash inflows and outflows from various activities such as operating, investing and financing. Question number 2. List any two importance and two limitations of a cash flow statement. So importance can be that cash flow statement provides the information to the interested parties. Number 2, it shows the cash inflow and cash outflow. The limitation can be there may be window dressing, and another limitation can be that it ignores the accrual concept. Then question number 3, give any two differences between cash flow statement and cash budget. So cash flow statement is prepared for future. Basically cash flow statement is a historical record and cash budget is prepared for future planning. So another difference can be on the basis of suitability. Cash flow statement is not suitable for making future oriented decisions, whereas cash budget is suitable for making future oriented decisions. Question number 4, give any two differences between a cash flow statement and an income statement. Cash flow statement records only and only the cash inflows and outflows, whereas income statement includes both cash and non-cash inflows and outflows or etc. Then cash flow statement is prepared to know the net cash generated or used in different activities, whereas income statement is prepared to know the net profit or net loss over a given period of time. Then another difference can be cash flow statement requires the two consecutive balance sheet or balance sheet of 2 consecutive years and additional information, whereas income statement requires the balances of nominal accounts and additional information. So there are many differences, you can just write any two. Question number 5, state the meaning and examples of cash equivalent. So cash equivalents are those short-term and marketable investment or securities which can very readily, sooner be converted into cash within a very less period of 3 months or less. For example, treasury bills, marketable securities, then your check and draft on hand, etc. Then question number 6, when does the flow of cash arise? The flow of cash arises whenever due to any transaction there is an increase or decrease in the cash or cash equivalent. Question number 7, state the classification of cash flow activities. There are 3 types of cash flow activities: operating activities, investing activities and financing activities. Then question number 8, state any 4 cash receipts each under operating, investing and financing activities. So cash receipt in case of operating activities can be cash receipt from sale of goods, cash receipt from sale of or rendering of services, then cash receipt of fees, cash receipt of commission, royalty, etc. Then under investing activity, the cash receipt can be from sale of land and building, then from the sale of goodwill, from the sale of patent, then another receipt under investing activity can be from the loan and advances, basically repayment of loan and advances given by the company to the third parties. Then in case of financing activity, the cash receipts can be any kind of loan or borrowing taken by the company, then issue of shares, issue of debentures, issue of bonus shares, etc. Basically, not the bonus shares, all the equity shares and the debentures, loan taken, etc. Then state any 4 cash payments each under operating, investing and financing activity. So in operating activities, cash payment can be income tax paid, then commission paid, then purchase of goods, hiring of services, etc. Under investing activity, the cash payment can be purchase of fixed assets like machinery, purchase of furniture, then your another cash payment can be loan and advances given to the third parties, then basically the purchase of any other assets, etc. Then financing activity, the payment can be interest paid or the dividend paid or the repayment of loan or the buyback of equity shares, etc. Then fill in the blanks. A. Cash inflow arising from interest and dividends received. Now this is received, should be shown as cash flow from received. If it is received, then we will show it as cash flow from investing activities, whereas cash outflow on account of dividend paid on shares and interest paid on long term borrowings should be shown as cash flow from financing activity. If interest and dividend is paid, it will be shown under financing activity, and if it is received, it will be shown under investing activity. Then B point, taxes paid are shown as a deduction under cash flows from operating activities. So I hope the question discussed here are clear to you children. Just go through the video once again, revise whatever we have done here, and do complete all the written work in your register. Thank you children. Take care.